Hey guys, it's Travis Reside here from Reside Racing RC. I'm just bringing you guys a quick little overview of my Roche P12 Evo. This is the first version of the Evo I have installed. I'll show you when I get into the car, but I have installed the fixed steering, so it's no longer the bell crank that was specific to the Evo. I have very kind of like the newer style direct steering from like the 2017 model of the P12. It's very similar to the new Evo. So I'm just going to start from the outside and kind of work my way on the inside. So first off, this body, this body is the Biddy Designs LSM19. It's the regular weight body. Didn't really kind of do anything different. I kind of messed up on the wheel wells just because I didn't have the proper tool, but it's kind of just a practice body. I have another body that I have to pick up, but yeah, I just painted it kind of like this. It's kind of like a coral pink kind of color. I really enjoy it. The Biddy Designs, this body, the LSM19, is probably my favorite 12 scale body design-wise. I have yet to test it on a track, but I'm excited to see how it handles. You can't really see the wheels, but we'll take the body off now. So taking the body off, this is the chassis here. As you can see here, it's kind of like my setup there. So we'll kind of just bring it in a little bit. I'm going to take a look at it here. We'll keep it here. There we go. So for tires, I am running front and back the CRC spec purple stripe tires. We are running on black carpet, so we don't really need super soft tires. The spec tires tend to work perfect. I am going to give it a test without gluing the sidewall, see how I like it. If there's too much steering, I will glue the sidewall. But for right now, I'm going to leave it the way it is. I am in the back running the spool, so it's direct. It's dark rounded spur gear. I am running the 72 tooth Xenon. It's a spec class spur gear. It's a 72 tooth pinion. I'm running a Aeromax. I think it's an 50 tooth, so I'm running 7250 is my gearing. Motor is a Team Powers Actinium. It's the version 3. I have the 12.5 torque rotor in there. I did shim it. I did shim the motor, I did set the timing I set the timing. Basically, I put it on my motor analyzer, and I had it set around 5 amp draws. Between A, B, and C, there was a 1 difference, so I think it was 49, 50, and 51. So it was they classed it as a 50 average on the analyzer. ESC, I am running the Hobby Wing stock spec 80 amp. It's the XR10. It's an 80 amp 1S speed control, has the booster, everything. It's 7.4 volt BEC to give the servo, its full power. I am running a high voltage Gens Ace 1S. It's a 130C. I can't remember the milliamp. I think it's like an 8,000. Yeah, it's an 8,000 milliamp 1S. 130C. I did just pick up that battery. I've yet to put this car on the track yet, so I'm excited to get out. I'm just getting back into on-road, so I'm excited to get that back out. So I had picked up a V3.1 1S ESC used, and unfortunately I was testing it out, and when I got this battery, my original this ESC, the wire was too long on the negative, and I had grabbed it and thought it was the positive, plugged it in, and blew the ESC. So I just picked up this stock spec. It is smaller, lighter, and honestly, it's what I wanted to go with at the start. The wiring I kind of just have here, kind of just running it underneath the shock. I have full kind of play with the rear pod. Oh, I am running, I think it's a King Hobby. I can't remember. One second. It is a King Max. It is a King Max servo. I did buy this off of AliExpress. It took a few weeks to come. The specs are pretty decent, honestly. The servo was only $30. Basically, it has a DC voltage of 5 to 8.4 volts, so I can run it up to 8.4 volts. At 7.4 volts, it has a 0.08 second operation speed, so plenty fast, honestly, for 12 scale. You don't need anything crazy fast for 12 scale, just because they have so much steering. But yeah, no, that's the case it came in, and the servo, it is just kind of like a mini kind of size servo. As you can see here, I am running the direct mount servo mount. It just mounts into the stock kind of holes that are in the Roche P12 chassis. This mount is, I think, from the 2017 version, if I'm not mistaken. Receiver, this is a DAS Micro. It's for the Sanwa FH4 protocol. I am running, for my transmitter, I don't have it with me, but I am running it is a Sanwa MT4. That's what I'm running with that. I compared the speed from this receiver to the stock Sanwa MT4, the telemetry receiver, and they're identical. So honestly, I will take a wireless kind of smaller footprint receiver over that. So if I do need more channels to kind of like, put fans or anything, it has, I think, oh my goodness, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 channels on that receiver, whereas the stock MT4 receiver only has 4 slots. This has 6, so you have more slots for more power. Setup wise, servo direct mount, I'm running a X-ray. It is a X-ray servo saver, the extra strength. I have all the springs and stuff in there. Transponder is just the kind of standard AMD DP, nothing crazy. It's a 2-wire, just because most of the tracks here in Ottawa, or not Ottawa, I'm in Niagara, but most of the tracks here in Canada still run the old RC3 decoders. RC4 isn't as popular in Canada. Some places do, but majority of the time you are running 2-wire transponders here. Center shock, I kind of just have, it's not the stock way of running this shock. I have a shorter top link end kind of thing. I can't remember, it's like a rod end kind of thing, but I can't remember what they call it. But I have that at the top, and then a little bit of a shorter one at the bottom. Normally, it runs a very, very short one at the bottom, and then a kind of a standoff at the top, and then a small rod end. Side springs are the hard springs from Roche. I can't remember I think they're black springs. Is the color from Roche, but no, they're not black. I think they're gold. But I know I am running gold springs up front, which is the harder springs from Roche. Arms, the front arms, I am running the compound plastic arms that the silver dot that they sell for this. Front bumper, foam bumper is just the stock foam bumper from Roche. I do have basically for ride height, these tires I think are around a 42 millimeter, 41 and a half, maybe a little bit bigger than 42, around the 41, 42 millimeter range. So basically for the front end, the way I have it set up, there's no spacing between the knuckle and the arm. So basically to get to lower the ride height, I had to put some shims underneath the front arm. So I think, if I remember, I'm running a 0.5 and then a 1 mil shim. Yeah, 0.5 and a 1 mil under there, and that gave me my proper, I think it was around 3.5. I am running, so for ride height, I'm running 3.4 in the front, 3.4 at the rear pod, the front of the rear pod, 3.4 in the middle of the chassis, and 3.4 at the rear pod. So that's what I'm running for that, kind of just same ride height all around. There is a 3.0 millimeter ride height limit at the track, so I kind of gave myself a little bit more ride height. If I'm feeling that it's kind of sliding, I will lower it to 3.2, but I don't think I need to go that low. Side tubes running 10K. Diff fluid, kind of just, that's the standard for 12 scale. In the back, I am running the longer wheelbase mounts. I am running no shims, so basically I'm running the axle mounts in the highest settings so that it drops the chassis. Gave me my 3.4 millimeter ride height. That's what I'm kind of running. That's kind of just my setup there. Chassis is a stock aluminum chassis from the Evo first generation kit. It's basically just a straight up Evo 1. Instead of the bell crank, I went with the direct steering setup in the front. So yeah, honestly, I'm excited to get out, test this thing out, and I'll probably make another video afterwards after getting some practice in, getting kind of used to the car, and then kind of just give my analysis on how I feel it handles with the direct steering. I do have the parts for the bell crank, so I might give it a try eventually down the road. But yeah, no, so this car it's very nice. I did buy it used, so it's not brand new, but I have taken apart the car, replaced what I needed, replaced rear bearings, freshen up the grease, freshen up the shock oil, put some new front springs. So it is basically a freshened up car. So I'm excited to take it out and give it a test run. So thank you for watching, and if you guys want to just keep tuned to videos on this chassis, on this car, just hit the subscribe button, and hope to see you guys in the comments.